So it's always a privilege and a humbling one for me to be in your company. Certainly when I'm in the company of the men and women who are the true lifesavers in our state, it always reminds me how important your job is and how beautifully you discharge your duties. Whatever the crisis is, whether it's a large one or a small one, in our cities, our towns, our villages across our great state, you and the colleagues you represent are there 24/7, 365 days a year. One area where for sure we can give positive news is with regard to the New York Common Retirement Fund. That's the pension fund that supports the retirement benefits for the men and women who are part of the police and fire retirement system and the employees retirement system in New York State. Over 1 million members, active and retirees. Well, this morning we announced that we have our number for March 31st of 2014. And I'm very pleased to report to you, the first group I get to talk to other than the reporters this morning, is that we had another strong year. In fact, the fund returned a positive 13% for this past year. We now are at a new historic high for your pension fund, $176.2 billion. That's pretty good. So that means that we continue to have the best funded of all the big state plans, one of the best funded of any state pension plans. Our funded status is now at about 89%. Well, our funded status now is actually moving up. We'll have an updated number on that over the summer, and it will be higher even than that 89%. What this means is a couple things. First of all, for you and your members, it means the fund is safe and secure. It also means, as I've been arguing, and I appreciate Mike pointing out some of the battles we've had, in fact, our fund and your benefits are sustainable. Now, we last year, as you might have noted, were able to actually have a modest decrease in the contribution rate that the employers pay into the fund. It was small, but it was still a decrease, and it actually happened a year ahead of when I first thought it would happen. Now that we have another very strong year, we don't announce the rates until over the summer. I think that it's more than likely, I don't want to say for sure because nothing's for sure until we work out the numbers, that we'll be able to have another decrease in the contribution rate. That's going to relieve some of the pressure that you've been hearing back home in terms of the pressure on your local budgets. It's good news for taxpayers as well. And again, it all gets back to the fact that this fund is about providing retirement security. Another part of how we manage the fund is not just being smart about investments, but we've been very concerned about doing it in the right way. And we had a review, an outside review by Funston Advisory Services that really examined the reforms that we put in place. You remember there were some troubles in the office. That's how I got to the office. We wanted to clean things up. Well, we were very pleased that the report that we got as an outside fiduciary review of the way we manage the fund gave us a clean bill of health, indicating your fund is well run, operates with an industry-leading level of transparency, and effectively invests on behalf of its members. You can't ask for more than that. You may not make the national news or the big headlines every day, but while others are running away or running down the steps, you're running in and you're running up to confront whatever has to be dealt with. You really are the people that make the difference between life and death for New Yorkers.